All right, everyone. Hello and welcome back to Mentorship Support. I hope everybody is doing well today. Wherever you might be, hopefully things are going good for you. Before I get started, I do want to just ask that everybody just bow your head for a minute and let's close our eyes for a second and just give prayer to everyone that is going through the rough situation with all them animals that have been sadly killed in such a way that nobody wants to even think about. And also praying for the families that are going through everything over there right now. It's a horrible situation. I watched a video earlier, and I'm not going to share it, but it was a koala bear that was rescued, and it was alive, and they was able to rescue it. With that poor koala, like I said, I'm not going to show the video, but I will tell you that when I watched that video and I heard that koala crying out in agony and suffering and pain, whoever's responsible for this, I hope that justice is served to its ultimate capacity. It's horrible. So let's bow our heads for a second. Lord, we just ask that you can watch over the families and the people and the animals that are still alive that might be suffering, that you'll watch over all of them and in your way bring them peace and help to take away any pain that they might be suffering. And we also pray that those who are responsible will be dealt with by the justice system and by you. Amen. Thank you, guys. I usually don't do any type of prayer request or anything on my videos, but it's horrible. It is horrible.
Title is meeting controls.
That we are having to
639 mentoring program.
See something like that. So anyways, let's talk about mentoring and families and children and what mentoring does and what it can do. There's so many positive things that mentoring does for somebody. So many positive things. Now, I've got a video here I'm going to share with you guys. We're going to watch it together, and I'm going to respond on that, and I'm going to speak on that, and maybe throw in some of my own ideas and comments and thoughts. And I would like you guys to engage in this conversation as well by going down below, leaving your comments in the comment section below. Also, be sure to tap on the subscribe button and join us here at Mentorship Support. Give us a thumbs up if you would, just to show that you like this video and you like the channel. And also be sure to tap on the little bell to set your notifications so that you are notified each and every single time that we publish a video here. And for that said, we're going to watch this. Here we go.
What about the children that offenders leave behind when they enter prison? For them, the experience can lead to instability and profound emotional consequences. In part 2 of our report from Indiana about incarcerated parents and their children, NewsHour Weekend's Megan Thompson profiles a family that's trying to cope and how their community is trying to help. This story is part of our ongoing series about poverty and opportunity in America, Chasing the Dream.
Every other Tuesday evening in Kokomo, Indiana, a group of kids gathers for activities at a local church's rec center. There's basketball, arts and crafts, and games. It's a chance for the kids to socialize and blow off some steam. But this isn't any ordinary youth group.
You been feeling okay?
These kids share a common and difficult experience. They each have a parent in prison.
Let's go, play ball.
Rick Wilson has run the New Leaf Mentoring Program since it started 8 years ago.
We have had several of the kids in the program over half their life, and I've been a part of their lives for over half their life. It's like a big family.
10-year-old Devin Rush has been in the program for 6 years. His mentor is Josh Roller, a local college student. Devin's sister Natalia is in the program too.
Right, you ready, Freddie? Not yet.
Their father is in prison, serving a 30-year sentence for dealing cocaine. Their mother Jennifer has also been to prison 3 times, also for selling cocaine and violating probation.
My kids suffered big time. Big time, these babies suffered.
Jennifer got home from her last stint in prison in 2015. Now she's pursuing degrees in electrical engineering and business.
I made a lot of mistakes, but I go to school full time. I'm really working on these degrees.
And she swears she's changed for good. But the experiences her kids have been through are still difficult for them to talk about.
What do you miss?
I miss Daddy. We can play every day.
Do you guys remember when Mommy wasn't here?
Mm-hmm. It's not fun. I love her so much, I just don't want her to leave again.
What was the hardest part about when she was gone?
He didn't have a mommy. My brother was the one who mostly took care of me.
Devin and Natalia are among the 177,000 children in Indiana who've had a parent imprisoned at some point during their lives. That's 11% of the kids in the state, one of the highest rates in the country. Experts say it can be explained in part by the state's higher than average rate of incarceration.
We often think of these children who are left behind as invisible children.
Angela Tomlin is a psychologist and expert in childhood development at the Indiana University School of Medicine. There are more than 5 million American kids who've had a parent incarcerated, and Tomlin says their needs are often forgotten.
We focus on the person who is incarcerated. We focus on how we're going to move them along in the correction system. We spend millions and millions of dollars doing that, and I feel that we do not attend to the overall effect on the family and in particular on children.
Tomlin says those effects can be profound.
Losing a parent has the potential to be a traumatic experience, and the child can have behavioral reactions and developmental concerns.
This one's not turning blue.
Okay, it's turning purple, honey.
One or both of Devin and Natalia's parents have been locked up for almost their entire lives. During it all, Devin and Natalia lived in several different places, first with Jennifer's mother, Michelle.
My mom, she has Parkinson's, and she was taking care of them, and it got so bad, her Parkinson's did. It just got too much for her.
So a prison ministry found them a family to live with in southern Indiana, far from the familiar surroundings of Kokomo. At one point, the kid's father got out of prison for about 7 months, so they lived with him. But he was caught with drugs again. The kids also lived temporarily with a teacher from school. And then, last year, Devin was hospitalized for blood clots in his brain. Jennifer believes it's all had lasting effects.
He has abandonment issues really bad, and then he's had a lot of depression. He used to grin ear to ear, and then it's just like he got really sad. And you see him sometimes, he just spaces out sometimes, and you just see he's just really sad and depressed. And I hate to see that because it kills me.
Rush says Devin has ADHD and a speech impediment and was held back a grade in school. Natalia was also held back at school because of her maturity level.
She shaved both sides of her head. She thrives for that attention, just trying to hey, here I am. And I think that has a lot to do with what me and her father have put them through.
Rush says Natalia once asked to name the family dog Poppy, as in Daddy.
She said, can we name him Poppy? Because I just want a daddy who will play with me and be there for me. And it just broke my heart. And so I've been trying to play mommy and daddy, but I can't.
The Rush family story isn't all that uncommon in this manufacturing city of about 60,000, but you wouldn't necessarily know it. Kokomo's doing well. The unemployment rate is lower than the national average, thanks in part to a huge Chrysler plant.
It's a good place to live.
Chuck McCoskey is a lifelong resident of Kokomo. He's a drug addiction counselor and former probation officer who's seen firsthand how incarceration affects families here. He says at the same time the city's economy is thriving, so are drug crimes.
Drastic increases in terms of the substance abuse, drug trafficking, drug changing, to new designer drugs.
Last year, the Kokomo area had 44 overdose deaths, almost double the number during the previous year.
So let's go ahead and talk about this. This is, I wanted to give you a good idea, and we'll finish the video. I don't want to start it when you're like, hey, you didn't finish it. I will let it finish here in a minute, but let's talk about the most important thing is the children. The crimes that are committed when these parents, they have children, they're committing these crimes and they're not taking in account for what's going to happen after. Accountability was never there until they got caught. Now, by all means, I'm glad that the mother here is seeing what damage has been done to her children. I'm glad that she sees that. And I believe that she should hurt. Because the children hurt. They hurt every day. They were sad every day and lonely and confused. Feeling out of place. So I believe that any parent, if you've committed these crimes, it was only fair for you to hurt, I believe. And for you to even hurt, and I don't mean physically. It's only fair that you hurt. And it doesn't even come close to being enough for what you've put your children through. At the same time, I also understand the drug addiction, and I understand why people do it and why they deal in it. But there's got to be a change made somewhere, I believe. I believe that if we keep on going down the same path with the same punishments and all that, it'll never get any better. So to see a new program being put together for these children, this mentoring program that was put together here in Indiana, I believe that's a good thing for the children. It's even good for the parents, because while their kids are going through these different levels of mentorship and the programs and all that, the parents, they might be in prison, but they know what's going on and they should know. I just hope that this can help not only just the children, but the parents, and to bring families back together. That is what this program is designed for, is to bring families back together, to connect families back together. And, there's something that wasn't mentioned here. There's a lot of families that'll never be brought back together because of drug overdoses and the cases where someone gets shot and gets killed. Well, if they got children, now the children are going to suffer and be put through that for the rest of their life. They'll never forget it. No matter what we do, they'll never forget it. We can only help them by doing what we can to ease their pain. So that's why I'm big about mentorship. I've not done a lot of stuff on, discussions about children and stuff like that. So that's why I wanted to do this. But I want to get your view, you guys. I want your view on this. What do you think? I got a couple questions for you. what do you think would be the most effective way that could help the children at the same time help the parents? What do you think would be an effective way to do that? I would love to get your thoughts on this. So leave your comments below. My next question, what do we do when innocent children will never see their parents again that might have overdosed or been killed? How do we help them? What do we do? I believe that the mentorship and the mentoring with the children is probably one of the best and most effective ways, personally, because you're giving one-on-one attention to that child. One-on-one. So I want you guys to think about that. Let's go ahead and watch some more of this. And again, leave your comments below. Give us a thumbs up. Tap on that subscribe button. Set your notifications by clicking on that bell. And let's see what else they got to say here.
The number of people put in jail has increased 18% over the last 2 years.
Wow.
Local law enforcement say almost everyone they arrest has issues with drugs.
And when they're arrested and taken to jail, DCS, Department of Child Services, comes in and takes over the children and try to find homes for them, whether it's with their relatives or they have to find foster homes. So you got a lot of displaced children, and it's horrific. You know, it just destroys the family. You know, I don't want to sound like Kokomo is the only place, but if you follow the news, it's everywhere. It's happening everywhere.
I want to say something real quick about families that adopt and stuff. If you are, you know, if you're someone and you're responsible and things are, you know, going good for you and the conditions are good, I want you to think about that as well, about being able to take care of another child, offering a child a place to lay their head, a place to be loved and treated like a child. Give them their childhood life back. You know, when they're in these homes while they're waiting on being adopted and all that, that's not a childhood life. That's a life of suffering and guilt. There should never be guilt, but they feel guilt. They feel angry and lost and confused. So if you can adopt, or even temporarily, not you know, full adoptions, but just to take care of a child while their situation is being taken care of, with either getting them back with their family or getting them with a family that will be adopting them permanently. You could be that the middleman, and offer these children or one child a safe place to live. You need to read a book called A Boy Called It. And then another book is A Man Called Dave. These books go together. There's another one, I forget the title, but these are all about children and abuse, and it's a really good book. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. If you could adopt, would you? And if you can, if you are in the situation where you could afford it, where you've got the room, will you adopt? Think about that.
Everywhere.
Are we up for a game?
Local children's advocates say the demand for their services is huge.
We could have a tremendously large program if we had more volunteers.
The Tuesday evening hangouts that Rick Wilson organizes give children like Devin and Natalia Rush a chance to hang out with other kids who have similar stories, something they don't otherwise get a chance to do.
They go to a Catholic school, and it's a wonderful school. Most of the parents, they're lawyers, doctors, police officers. They don't have mom, dad's a drug dealer or mom, dad's this, you know.
Here you go, Devin. Here, I'll help you out.
And Wilson says the mentors here provide these kids stability.
Well, the role primarily is someone that they can talk to, share their feelings. So whatever issues may or may not be going on with the child, the mentor is there to help.
A mentoring program or any program that allows a child to have an adult who they can see on a regular basis, who can give them some time to share what their experiences have been, and who can really be experienced by that child as reliable and consistent and a person to be counted on, can build up strength in a child.
Because you know you're pretty good at tic-tac-toe.
I am.
Devin's become extremely close to his mentor, Josh Roller, who's worked at a local grocery store to help pay his way through school. Devin's grandma used to take him there to see Josh working.
Josh, he works, he goes to school. That shows so much, and that is being the influence that he needs.
I want to put a circle right there.
Okay.
Josh is like his big brother and best friend. And it's nice that at least my son has something stable in his life.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Josh and Devin hang out once or twice a week.
It took a while for me to kind of get him to open up to me, but as he got to know who I am and he got comfortable around me, he opened up and was able to just share whatever he was feeling, and the car rides got a little louder.
I've been working on a book report while this week.
Would it make you feel better if I told you I had to do homework on spring break too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Natalia's mentor, Gabby Van Alstyne, is an assistant professor at the nearby business school. Gabby takes Natalia at least once a week to do something special, go to the mall, get their nails done, or get something to eat.
She's a strong, independent woman. She travels. She has a wonderful job. She has a job that she loves.
Open now, open now, open.
Natalia, she can be an independent woman like Gabby is, you know.
Sometimes I take her with me on errands, just really to spend time with her and help her and encourage her.
That's beautiful, Natalia. I think you've got a future as a fashion designer. What do you think? Then you could live in New York or somewhere big.
I don't want them to go down the life I went down. I don't want them to choose what I chose. At least they can see that I'm trying my best to change and I really want to do something, but they can also see the other side, that you can do stuff without getting in trouble, and these wonderful people are here to help.
It's a wonderful video, guys.
Meeting controls. More buttons.
I'd love to hear what you think about that. You know, you ought to think about that as well. If wherever you live, because I can promise you, it's not just Indiana, it's not just Kentucky, it's not just Ohio. This is everywhere. So think about even getting involved in mentoring programs where you can be a mentor to a child that could really use that positive influence in their life. You know, when I first started criminal justice, I was more about, yeah, I want to do law, you know, I want to become a lawyer and all this stuff. My ideas completely changed. The more that I thought about things, and the more that I read reports and saw things, and even going through criminal justice, I've heard so much that children have been through, and it's sad, but we can do something about it. So leave your comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've got plenty more coming your way. Be sure to give us a thumbs up again if you don't mind to do that, just to show that you kind of, you know, appreciate the channel or the video. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys might say about this. So definitely let me know what you think, and we'll talk to you real soon.